guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Winnie the Pooh collection from my brand Pampered Polishes. This is the final set in my Year of Disney collection, and I had to go with Winnie the Pooh, an absolute classic, one of my favorites. Jocelyn is loving Winnie the Pooh, so here we are. This collection is releasing on December 10th, so in the description box I will link my site, I will link my swatching Instagram, and then I'll link my business Instagram page. These are going to be $12 each, and it is a one batch release, so if something sells out, I don't plan on restocking it, and this is also not going to be a part of my restock come January. So once something is gone, it is actually gone. So we do have 6 new polishes in this collection, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have How Do You Spell Love, and this one is inspired by Piglet. It's a soft pastel pink crelly loaded with a variety of miniature pink micro glitter. So here's our first coat of How Do You Spell Love. I think the formula on this is good. I didn't have any issues with it being too thick. I didn't have issues with it running, pulling, staining. These glitters are all relatively small, so they do come out of the bottle easily, and they do spread out easily across the nail as well. There's no manipulation needed to get like a good variety of glitter on each nail. You are going to want top coat to finish this off. It does dry textured because this is glitter, and also because this is glitter, it's going to be more difficult to remove. So here's our second coat of How Do You Spell Love, and this does cover for me completely in 2 coats. If you told me you needed a third, I wouldn't be super surprised, but the coverage is there in 2. Again, with this glitter, you are going to want maybe a glitter smoother underneath to hide texture, or a thicker glitter eating glossy top coat to finish this off, or 2 coats of a regular top coat. Sorry, I am still half asleep. But there are 2 coats of How Do You Spell Love. Next up we have I'm the Only One. This one is inspired by Tigger, and it's a neon orange jelly with a matte black bar glitter. Here's our first coat of I'm the Only One. This one covers pretty well in base on this first coat. I didn't want to overload this with the black glitter, but watching my own swatch video, I feel like maybe I should have put more in there, but it does have more glitter as it builds up in 2 coats, so just trust the process on this one. I think the formula is good. Again, not too thick or too thin. These bar glitters, since they are a little bit larger and a little bit more sparse, you might want to manipulate them to get them to go where you want them to go across the nail. I did get full coverage in 2 coats, but this is one that borders on needing a third coat if you want extra glitter on your nail. This bar glitter is going to dry with like the slightest bit of texture, nothing that 1 coat of a glossy top coat shouldn't hide. And since it is a neon pigment that this is based off of, it does dry to a waxy finish. So a top coat will help bring it back to life and smooth out any of that glitter, but removal on this one will be easy. So there are 2 coats of I'm the Only One. Up next we have Oh Bother, and this one is inspired by Pooh. It's a mustard yellow jelly with black and red glitter. Here's our first coat of Oh Bother. This one does have a sheerness to it on this first coat, but a boatload of glitter. The formula I think is good. Again, not too thick, not too thin, no running, pulling, or staining. I did want this one a little bit more sheer so you could have the dimension of the glitter on the nail. These glitters, again, are all relatively small, so they do come out easily. You don't have to do any kind of fishing to get anything special out, and they do spread out easily across the nail. I didn't have to do any manipulation other than just painting my nails naturally. Since this is glitter, it is going to dry with some texture. I do recommend a thicker top coat just to finish this one off. If you don't have anything that's thick like a glitter eating top coat, you might want 2 coats of top coat or a glitter grabber underneath your regular top coat. I did do 3 coats for full coverage here. Removal on this one will be difficult. This is loaded with this glitter, so if you use and can use pure acetone, I recommend soaking with all glitters in pure acetone so the removal process is easier. But there are 3 coats of Oh Bother. Next up we have Oh No, Not Again. This one's inspired by Rabbit, and it's a pastel yellow crelly base, and it has green metallic flakes and orange ghost flakes. Here's our first coat of Oh No, Not Again, and this one is a pastel, so it is a little bit more sheer here on this first coat, but I did still get full coverage in 2 coats. This is another one though that, depending on your preferences in your application, you might end up needing 3. Now in my bright studio lighting, these greenish teal flakes stand out the best against this base color, but once it's built up to full opacity and in lower lightings, those orange little ghost flakes really shine in this base. This one did cover, like I said, in 2 coats. I do recommend top coat to bring some life back to this polish, but nothing is going to dry overly textured. And since this is all flakes, nothing in this polish will be difficult to remove. I also didn't experience any kind of running, pulling, or staining with this. So there are 2 coats of Oh No, Not Again. Up next we have Always Here For You, and this one is inspired by Kanga and Rue, and this is a darker kind of ashy purple with a scattered hollow effect and holographic microflakes. Here's our first coat of Always Here For You. This one does cover pretty well here on this first coat. I think this one is a solid 2-coater no matter what kind of application style you have. This is also relatively even on this first coat. These hollow flakes shine so beautifully from this base color. Once again, I had no running, no pulling, no staining. This one is going to dry a little bit on the dull side, so I recommend top coat for that reason. It'll also help the holographic flakes and the holographic pigment that's in here stand out to its fullest potential. Nothing in this is going to dry textured. Nothing in this is going to be difficult to remove. There are no glitters. This is all flakes. I also didn't have running, pulling, or staining. So there are 2 coats of Always Here For You. And lastly for today we have Thanks For Noticing Me, and this one is inspired by Eeyore. It's a pastel gray crelly, and it's got holographic flakes, pink metallic flakes, and black matte flakes. And here's our first coat of Thanks For Noticing Me. This one does cover relatively well here on this first coat. Not quite a 1-coater obviously, so I am going to go in for 2, and I did get full coverage in 2 coats. I think the formula on this is good. Again, not too thick, not too thin, no running, pulling, or staining, and these flakes are all small, so they do come out of the bottle easily, and they do spread out across the nail easily. There's also an even number of all elements in this polish, so everything kind of has a nice even distribution to it as well. I got full coverage in 2 coats. This is going to dry with some texture because of these larger flakes. So I do recommend a top coat to finish this off. 1 coat of a regular top coat should suffice. You shouldn't need anything super thick to get a nice plump glossy finish on this. And since this is all flakes, removal will be easy. You don't have to scrub anything off or use any kind of pure acetone to get this off. So there are 2 coats of Thanks For Noticing Me. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these polishes. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.